Hello, Team Playmaker. My name is Brandy Jackson, and I'm here to share a little bit about my experience of raising young champions. And to kick off that conversation, maybe it's helpful to have a little bit of background on me. So, I'm a holistic therapist by trade, which means I'm a licensed mental health therapist. I'm also a certified personal trainer and a certified holistic nutritionist. I happen to also be a mom. I have two little boys who are now almost 9 and 11 going on 12 this year. So I have been working with my husband, Chase, and my children for several years to really try to work on giving them the best opportunity, trying to keep them in the best health, or as close as possible, without being obsessive and, going down that windy road. So all that to say, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the value and importance of fundamentals as far as really focusing on a few key factors that have made a great impact and difference for my children. So the first thing that I personally have found to be really eye-opening and amazing and super important is their nutrition. My children have a pretty flexible whole foods kind of habit or behavior for their eating. And the reason that that's been something we've been working on with our children for years is because it really cuts down on colds and allergies, and ultimately it helps them keep a better mindset. We've tried to have our kids on occasions, maybe eat things that aren't so healthy so they can experience, holidays and all of that like everybody else. And of course, that just means they're more likely to have a change in their behavior, a change in their thought patterns, a change in their actions. So when we do allow our kids to eat things that maybe aren't as healthy, we also try to work a protocol of, if you're going to not maybe eat as clean because it's a holiday special occasion kind of deal, then I want you to drink more water. I want you to have a green smoothie that day, just so that way we're trying to work some nutrition into their process, because our kids just operate better when they have cleaner nutrition. And so I just want to encourage you, if you're trying to raise your young champion, to consider the importance of having a fundamental nutrition program that can be applicable for your kid, of course, or children, that feels right for your family. So to figure out what that is, and the question that I would ask myself to kind of decide what's what is, how does this help them, and how does this potentially cause harm or limitation? So I just want to say that as far as how I've personally come to understand nutrition as a fundamental for raising a young champion. Okay, so next I'd really like to focus in and talk about the value of sleep. And it's so interesting when we have our children, we first find out how difficult it is to try and have any sleep, because babies, right? They don't really they don't really listen or worry about the clock too much. But ultimately, when our children are at the point of being regimented to a sleep routine, sleep is so crucial for health, recovery, wellness, cell turnover, immunity, all of that, in order for our young champions to be able to go into their days with enough energy, enough mind space to be in their greatest opportunity of excellence. So for me, that's another really strong fundamental that is really crucial for them having the skill sets that they need when they're doing activities, including sports and fitness. And then I guess the last fundamental that has been really impactful in my experience and journey has been to allow for creative practice to happen. And I don't know exactly the correlation to having flexible mindset and how that aligns with creativity, but I find when my children are able to do things with creativity and flexibility, for example, doodling, sketching or coloring or creating robots or science projects where they get to explore, that's when they tend to have more creativity show up in other areas of their life. And that's also where they tend to show up with more flexibility in their mindset. And that travels very well into the fitness experience and the sports experience that our young champions will potentially need to practice some creativity around. So ultimately, I find like creating space for creativity and flexible mindset are really, really great off the field and off the court because they travel back in to the court as well. So the skill travels in all the dimensions of our lives with creativity. So I hope that you've enjoyed my experience and me just sharing a little bit of my journey in motherhood, about how it's felt to raise my young champions, and really trying to build a healthy practice of fundamentals for their long-term advantage. So I really enjoyed sharing, and I hope to share more videos in the future. Have a great one.